All right, let's look at these wonderful pointers. The tools in the toolbox. We'll go straight down this list and look at every mouse pointer. The first one we all know about, it's the selection tool. That's the main default pointer. Next we have track forward. I press A to select and it gives me a double arrow pointing to the right. If I click anywhere on the timeline, it selects everything from there and moving forward. See here, here, it selects what's underneath it and everything beyond. With a few more instances, it may be easier to see. See, I select here, 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 everything beyond it. And if I hold shift, it converts to one arrow and will do one track at a time, as you can see here. Pressing shift A does the exact same thing but backwards with a double arrow, or if you hold shift, you can select one track at a time. Next is the ripple edit tool. Press B and you'll see the arrow turn yellow when you're able to use it. By clicking and rolling back, I'm ripple editing that footage away. It does the same thing as if I made a cut here, select here, and did a ripple edit. But I can undo and do this with the ripple edit tool. The rolling edit tool is selected within, where I can take two clips adjacent to each other, click in the middle, and drag their connection point. It'll make the first clip longer and the second shorter if you do it this way, or the other way around by dragging to the left. Next is the rate stretch tool. The shortcut is R. This will take this piece of footage, you press R, and go to the end of the clip. Let's zoom in on this clip. With the rate stretch tool, I go to the end and track back about halfway. Instead of making this clip shorter, you see a percentage here. That means the clip is now sped up. You can see it here. I'll undo. We see the cars going at normal speed right now, but let's take the rate stretch tool and smash it pretty close together. Let's look at it now. See the cars moving fast? That's because I increased the rate with the rate stretch tool. This is a very handy tool to make sure that your edits fit in the precise time that you need them to fit in. Sometimes I'll have a small gap like this in my footage and need this clip to fill the time. So I put it there and I'll rate stretch it out so it still works in between those two clips. Then, if I have to move this back for some reason and I need to rate stretch it again, I can just compress the entire clip with the rate stretch tool and still have all the footage in that smaller gap. Next is the blade tool, which we've all used. The shortcut is C for cut, so we can call it the cutting tool. The next two tools, it took me a while to learn. They're the slip and slide tools. First, slip by selecting Y. To show you the slip tool, I'm going to use a different video. We'll use this time-lapse pregnancy video. So I'm going to cut this to about half. We see she starts with a flat belly and starts to get more pregnant. Now I'm going to use the slip tool and drag on top of this, and I see the in and out points at the top and let go. Now let's look at the beginning. We start in the middle of the pregnancy and then go straight to the baby shot. It still starts at the same spot and ends at the same spot, but the piece of footage it shows is different. That's the slip tool. I'll slip back to the beginning and then I'll slip to the end. The slide tool is more like a selection tool. I'll grab this clip, move it over here, and it moved naturally, just like a selection tool. I'll move it over here, the same thing, and I'll move it right next to this last clip, but I can't drag over it. Now when these clips are next to each other, if I drag this over, it will extend the connected shot. This works really well for a shot in between two other shots. Let's use this as an example. I'm going to put this right in the middle. I'm going to put this pregnancy video right between the two New York street shots. Now with the slide tool, I can move this over this way or move it over that way, and the three shots added together still time out the same. The pen tool I mainly use for masks, but you can also use it to draw shapes, and we'll put a graphic right on your timeline. The same with the rectangle tool or the ellipse. And don't forget you can hold shift to make a perfect circle or a perfect square. Next are the zoom and hand tool. I'm guessing you've probably used these a lot. The magnifying glass with a plus symbol will take you closer and closer into the timeline, and if you hold Alt or Option, it will zoom out. And when you're zoomed in, you can use the hand tool to scoot the timeline around. It doesn't change the location of your clips, just what you can see on the timeline. The last tools are Type tool and Vertical Type tool. Type tool will let you type on screen, and vertical type does exactly what you're thinking, lets you type vertically, right in the program window. That's all the pointer tools. I'm sure you're accustomed to using some of them, but try to get more and more comfortable with the ones you're not. Speaking of, I need to try out this slide tool a little more.